Okay, I'm working on editing, and I just want to pop in and say stick around to the end for a special surprise. Welcome to my room. You are sitting at my brand new desk. I am sitting on my brand new chair. These were gifts from my husband for my birthday. I have a new sit and stand desk and the crisscross chair that's all over TikTok, and I'm gonna start filming up here in addition to downstairs. So we're setting up a vlog right now. The last vlog that you saw, I was doing just an average week of reading, and that's great. It was not the best week for me in terms of successfully reading a lot of books. I have only read one book for the entire month of December. It's the 10th. So we're gonna do a challenge this week to set me up for success, to actually complete my end of year TBR. Last week, every single person in my house was sick in some form. This weird stomach virus went through my house. My oldest son started it, and then it ended with me, and then it circled back through everybody again, except for me. Thank God, because it was terrible. We are going to do a reading challenge this week. I am going to attempt to read 200 pages a day. It is 2:30 on Sunday. We are starting on a Sunday this time. And I am 185 pages in to As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow. I should be finished with this book today. I'm struggling through it, but not because it's not a good book. This is one of the saddest books I think I have ever read in my life. It is very, very hard to get through because of how tragic it is. I am very much impressed with the author when you consider that this is a debut. I'm 185 pages in. That means that I need to read to page 385, which is right here. But I'm thinking, if I can make it to right here, why not finish the book? As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow is set in Syria during the Syrian Revolution. It is so incredibly sad. The things that I am reading in this book are things that I did not know were happening. It's very eye-opening. I am a huge fan of this author's writing. Like I said, I find it absolutely unbelievable that this is her first book because her writing is like stunning. I have no notes. There are very graphic descriptions in this book, and it's very, 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 very hard to read. But I feel like I am learning things that I did not know about. And for that, I love this book. I don't know what else to say aside from the fact that this book is devastatingly sad. Even with the devastating sadness depicted in this novel, I find the tone to be incredibly hopeful, and even talking about it makes me feel like I'm going to start crying. So I am just going to get started. I will let you know at the end how I feel about this book. I will say I have already cried at least one time while reading. So it's targeted to a young adult audience, but I really and genuinely feel that everybody could benefit from reading this book. And I don't say that lightly. I am loving this book so much. I don't have anything else to say. I'm gonna get started to reading it. I will see you soon and let you know where we're at. I'm on page 356. I'm gonna finish it tonight. I'm going to drink my tea and read and let you know final thoughts at the end. But I did tell my husband that this book is shaping up to be book of the year for me. #1 book of the year probably is going to be this one. I can't believe I put it off for so long. I mean, I can because it's heart-wrenchingly sad, but it's so good. So I'm gonna get back to it, drink my tea, tell you final thoughts at the end, and we'll start a new book. I've reached the part in the book where I can stop, but I've also reached a part in this book where I can't stop because it's so intense what's happening right now. I'm gonna finish. I'm at page 390. I have about 27 pages left in this book, and then I'll be done and we can talk about it. Hi, so I finished this and I don't know what to say. I don't think that it's a book that I'm ever going to be able to forget. It's so good. And I know that as I've been filming updates, I have harped on the idea that the resounding undertone of the novel is hope. And I know that I read it somewhere in here. I read everything in this book. I read the author's note, I read the acknowledgments. At the end of the author's note, I know that I harped heavily on the fact that the underlying tone of this book is hope, and zoulfakatouh puts in her author note, or her author's note at the very end, this book was very difficult to write, but I tried to weave one message through every page, every line, and every letter. That message is hope, and I hope you carry it in your heart. I feel so silly for sitting here and crying about a book that I've read. But this book was an absolutely devastating read, and I think that everybody should read it, even though it's hard, because it paints a picture of things that are happening and have been happening since 2011 in a way that has that resounding message of hope. And it's so beautifully written, but it's impossible for me to believe that it's a debut novel, and I'm still crying over it. So really and truly, if you can, I recommend picking up As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow by zoulfakatouh. I really don't think that you'll regret it. This is the first book that I've cried about like this in a very long time, and I don't have anything else to say. God, it's just so devastating, and I don't know how to move on from this, so give me a second to compose myself, and then we'll wrap this up. I've gathered myself. I don't think I'm gonna cry anymore. I think that I can talk a little bit more about this. This book is set in Syria between the time frame of 2011 and 2012 at the start of the Syrian Revolution and leading up to the 1-year anniversary of the start of the revolution. We are following a main character. She's a pharmacology student at a university in Syria when the revolution breaks out. Her name is Salama. When the revolution breaks out, the hospitals in her area are taking on anybody who has any sort of medical experience to be doctors, nurses, healthcare providers in the hospital, because a lot of doctors are taken and murdered, basically. And so Salama has taken on this role that she is not ready to fill. She sees a lot of terrible things happen, and her PTSD manifests in hallucinations. Her hallucinations name is Khwaf. I might be saying it wrong. I'm trying my best. Khwaf is fear in English, and basically he appears to her anytime she is experiencing extreme fear. We're following as she is trying to find the courage to flee Syria, and that is what the whole premise of this book is. It is devastatingly beautiful. It is full of hope, and I genuinely cannot recommend it enough. Wholeheartedly and without a shadow of a doubt, this is a 5-star book for me. You hear people talk about their impossible 6-star reads. If I could give this 100 stars, this book, it's incredible. I just can't emphasize that enough. It's incredible. It's beautiful. I really recommend. I read more than 200 pages today, and that's okay because this is stunning. I can show you what I'm gonna read next. There's no easy way to transition out of this. Please, if you've read this, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I'm dying to have somebody to talk about this book with. So leave me a comment if you've read it so that we can talk, because I am desperately needing someone to talk to about it. Anyway, what we're gonna read next is a book that I've been highly anticipating for a whole year, basically. I don't know when the first book came out. I've been putting off reading this for the whole year, even though it's my most highly anticipated book of the year. We're talking about Hellbent by Leighbardugo. I did see that this won the fantasy Goodreads choice for this year, so that's cool. I haven't read it yet, so I couldn't vote for it. This is gonna be the first fantasy book that I read this year. It's a good, hefty guy. That's why I haven't gotten to it yet. We're gonna take it on in this challenge. I have to read 200 pages of this tomorrow, but I am gonna start it tonight because I'm not ready for bed yet. And I need to bring myself out of the emotional turmoil that I am experiencing as a result of finishing As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow. So Hellbent by Leighbardugo is our next book. Good morning. I am ready for work. I did not read last night. I did not read any of Hellbent last night. I'm gonna take it to work because I should have time on lunch to read today, and I'm gonna get going. I wanted to show you, I'm also taking to work. Aldi has my favorite Christmas cookies back. These are so spicy and gingery. I love them so much. I'm taking a bag to work, and I have a bag for at home. I only have a few minutes until I have to leave and I still have to make my coffee, so I'm gonna go do that. You can come with me, so just give me a second and we'll be downstairs. Really fun thing just happened. I fell down the stairs, so we're off to a great start for a Monday. Let's make the coffee. I use Cafe Bustelo instant espresso to make like latte drinks at home. Currently working through this cinnamon vanilla syrup, and I use oat milk in this cup. My arm really hurts, so I'm just gonna do this. I'll see you after work, guys. I can't believe I just fell down the stairs. I tripped over a dog toy. How freaking stupid is that? Hello, good evening. It is 6:54. The kids are going to bed in about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to get started reading Hellbent by Leighbardugo. We are reading 200 pages tonight. That is so much. I haven't read anything. Haven't started this book yet, nothing. Can't tell you what it's about. I didn't have time to read today. Fortunately, this is 200 pages and it's the start of a chapter. So I have to read this much tonight, and that's a little intimidating, but we're gonna do it. I believe in myself. I can stay up until 10. If I read for 3 solid hours, I think we'll be golden. So we're gonna get started here shortly. I need to get children ready for bed, and then I'll let you know what's going on, how I'm feeling, how tired I am at the end of this shift. So I'm starting to have regrets about picking Hellbent as the book to read 200 pages of tonight, because I'm only on page 55 and it's already almost 9 o'clock. It's a little bit more complex of a read and is taking a lot more of my concentration than if I were to pick something lighter. And also, I don't really remember how Ninth House ended, so I'm kind of struggling to get into this. It is very likely that I'm only gonna get to page 150 tonight because it's taking me a very long time. I also got started a little late because my children did not want to go to bed, which is fine. The whole intent of reading 200 pages a night for a week is to try to set myself up to complete my December physical TBR that I pulled and round out the year strong. So if I don't hit the 200 page goal, it's nothing to beat myself up over. It's just intent, right? To ensure that I complete the TBR. It is 8:54 and I'm only on page 54, and I've been reading for, I would say, about an hour. So it's a little bit slower of a read for me than something that I could have picked up on my Kindle. But I wanted to challenge myself, especially for a book of this size, because it's quite hefty. So I want to challenge myself to read big chunks of it at a time so that I can finish it before Friday, hopefully. I can't really talk about what the book is about because I'm only 50 pages in. Alex and Dawes are basically trying to open up a portal to hell to get Darlington back, and that's all there is to it. There's subplot going on, which I'm a little confused about because I can't remember a ton of Ninth House, and so I probably should have refreshed myself before I picked this up. But I'm hoping that as I progress in, things will get better. So that's where we are for tonight. I'm gonna try to read 100 more pages, but we'll see how it goes. I'm definitely not gonna get this much done in an hour because this has taken me an hour. So I'm nervous, but we'll see how it goes. I will keep you updated. It's 10:10 p.m. I need to go to sleep because I have to wake up at 5. I am 90 pages short of 200 pages today, so I'm on page 110. Things are happening, I'm invested, but I'm also tired, so I have to prioritize sleep. I'll try to get caught up to where I need to be tomorrow during like lunch and breaks and everything, and then hopefully I can read 200 pages tomorrow. Tonight just wasn't it. It was a rough night. We'll try again tomorrow, and if I fail the challenge, I fail the challenge. This one is a hard one. We can always revisit it another time if I don't pass. But I'm gonna go to bed and I will check in tomorrow. We're not focused. Hello, it's very dark in here. I don't feel like turning on a light, so hello. I made nettle tea. I've been drinking it every night. I like it. It tastes better than green tea to me. So this is what I've been drinking every night with some honey and cinnamon. It's nice. It's cold and miserable here in the Midwest. So hot tea and relaxing for reading is what it is. I only made it to page 110 of Hellbent last night. So I am going to just try to read to page 310 tonight. We'll see how well it goes. So far, this 200 page challenge is not going great. That's okay. It's 7:40 p.m., 7:37-ish, and I haven't started reading yet, so we're gonna go get started. I will let you know before I go to bed where I'm leaving off. I am hopeful that I can stay up until 10, 2.5 hours seems reasonable to read 200 pages, but we'll see, because Hellbent is pretty tough of a read. We're gonna try our hardest to get to 310. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna go get started. In order to help myself focus on this, I use this app called Forest. Let me turn my brightest down a little bit, so perhaps you could see it better. Forest, okay? This app right here, Forest, you plant trees to focus for a certain amount of time, and I change my tree up every day. They're Christmas themed right now, which I think is so stinking cute. I'm gonna go with these tulips that have snow on them for tonight, and I'm gonna focus for, it's 2 hours. I am gonna text my husband and let him know that I'm starting to focus, and I'll text him before I go to bed. But yeah, once I plant the tree, I can't go on my phone or it kills the tree. And then I have to pay coins to remove the tree from my forest, and I don't like to use my coins to remove my trees from my forest. I like to use my coins to get new trees. So that's what we're gonna do. Focus on reading by planting trees. You click plant, and then it starts the timer, and it will plant a tree for you. So I only read 100 pages. I am on page 218, I wanna say. Yeah, 218. And the reason I stopped is because I was 1, getting tired, 2, I needed to call my husband, and I booked us tickets to see All Time Low at the Red Rocks Amphitheater in June for one of their special 20-year anniversary shows that they're putting on. I literally tried to get the reserved seating, and pre-sale tickets for Future Hearts Club went on sale today. It's the 12th of December. They were already sold out. So we just got general admission. We're flying to Denver to see them in June. It'll be the 1-year anniversary of when I last saw them. So I'm very, very excited to be able to go and see them again in a different place, a place that's literally a bucket list item for me. And so now I'm really amped and not ready to go to bed, but it's 10:30 at night, so I need to go to sleep because my alarm goes off at 5, and a well-rested girl is the key to my success at work. So I'm gonna go to bed, but just know that I am freaking out internally about this. So good night. See you tomorrow. Hopefully I can actually get 200 pages in tomorrow. I should be able to leave work early, and I should also be able to get a lot more reading done because I have no additional responsibilities tomorrow besides coming home from work and taking care of my dog. So see y'all tomorrow. 4:27, I'm home from work. I changed into my comfy clothes. I'm gonna start reading. I have 5.5 hours to read 200 pages, so hopefully I can do it tonight. Here you can see, this is where I left off last night. This is where I'm supposed to read to. That's a pretty hefty chunk of pages. I believe in myself. I need to cover myself up because I am freezing cold always, and for real, I'm gonna get started. She's over there squeaking her toys, which will prove distracting, but it's okay. We are still working on Hellbent, and then if I make it to here, I think I should just finish the book, but we'll see. I'm feeling very confident right now, even though I am extremely tired. Still working through Hellbent. I'll pick my next book if I manage to finish this tonight, but I feel like I'm feeling overly confident. 200 pages is literally so much. It's so much. I don't know why I felt this bold. Whatever, we're getting started. I didn't finish Hellbent last night. At 9:30, I was exhausted and I went to bed. Let me show you where I left off. That's how much I have left. It won't focus, but you know, you get the idea. I stopped at chapter 35. Part 2. That is page number 367, and there are 478 pages in this book. So we're finishing this tonight. I've already done dishes. I need to eat, but we're gonna finish. And I already know what the next book I'm gonna read is because one of my friends needs to borrow it from me for book club, so I need to read it and pass it along to her, and it's downstairs, so I'll show you when we finish this. Hopefully I can get a start on it tonight, but just judging by how brain dead I feel right now, it's gonna be hard to finish Hellbent, even though I have less than 100 pages to go. I'm gonna go eat, get started reading. That's the update. This is no longer a 200-page challenge. This is read as much as you can in a night. 200 pages after I've worked a full day is a very lofty goal, and I need to set that goal for a different time, a different me. Someone who isn't thinking for 18, 19, and 20-year-olds for a whole day, and then coming home and reading pretty hefty fantasy. We're gonna try the 200-page challenge again a different time. I'm babbling. I haven't eaten today. It's 5:09 p.m. and I've eaten cheese curds and like a couple of ginger cookies. The epitome of health, truly. I have 20 pages left and it's only 8:30, 8:20 actually, so I might be able to start my next book tonight. Things rapidly picked up in part 2. I think that my problem is that I, 1, don't really remember what happened in Ninth House, and 2, it's very plot driven as opposed to character driven in this book, and so I'm really struggling with it, and I don't really remember Ninth House. I'm an entirely different reader than I was when I read Ninth House. I'm really genuinely thinking that that is partly what the problem is. Regardless, I have 20 pages left. I am suspecting that I will finish those 20 pages by 9 o'clock. It's 8:20, like I said. And then I can start my next book. I've done it. She loves to end on a cliffhanger. I will say that. It took me significantly less time to read the last 20 pages than I thought because it is not 9 o'clock yet and I've stopped to text my husband and my sister tonight while reading those last 20 pages. I think that felt very second book syndrome-y while reading this, and it wasn't as good as Ninth House for me, but I'm also a different reader, like I said, than I was when I read Ninth House. For me, it was just fine. Maybe if I read them back to back, I would feel differently, but that's how I'm feeling right now. So I will take time to reflect on this. You can see more about it when I do a wrap up for December. As of right now, I'm just feeling like it was fine. Possibly because I felt a little slumpy after I read As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow, and all I could think about was that book while I was reading this. But again, it just felt fine for me. So we're gonna move on to something else that I think will be fun, fresh, and a kickin' and gigglin' good time, and that is the Murderrobebookclub book of the month for December. We picked a romance, a Christmas romance, if you will, and we opted for Tisthedamnseason by Kimifreeman. Don't know what it's about, don't care what it's about. It's a Christmas rom-com, and I'm gonna get started reading it. It's 8 p.m. I am just now going to get started reading. I came home, I made dinner, I ate dinner, I FaceTimed my husband a little bit, and then I started working on my spreadsheet for my 2024 tracking. So I am inputting every book that I own into the spreadsheet, putting the genre, all of that fun stuff. It took me a long time. I was working on it for a very long time. I'm not even close to done. I just want to have everything set up so that I can focus on reading in 2024. So yeah, I'm gonna go upstairs and pick up in Tisthedamnseason, relax on my bed, and I'll let you know before I go to bed where I stop for the evening. I have to finish this book today or tomorrow so I can give it to my friend for book club. So here we go. Not a huge fan of it so far, but it is what it is. It's probably gonna be fine. Maybe I'm just still hungover from As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow. Regardless, I'm going upstairs to read. I'll check in with you shortly. Hit chapter 18 of this book, page 129. I need to get back into it. It's 350 pages, so I need to finish it so I can give it to Ashley today. I'm gonna go get started, but this is a check-in. I stopped at page 129 last night. I finished Tisthedamnseason. I didn't know when I selected this for the December book club that the book was written by someone who was 14 when she conceptualized the idea and is now currently 16 years old. So this book very clearly is not meant for the age bracket of my book club. And I do read YA still. It takes a very special type of YA to keep me invested and interested. Something about this was a little unrealistic in my opinion. And now that I know that the author was only 15 when she wrote it, I mean, it makes sense why I wasn't jiving with the book. That being said, I feel bad, but it's like a 2 for me. It's very choppy. The way that chapters end feels abrupt, and I feel horrible critiquing like this, but I'm just not used to reading things that go this way. So it was a bust for me, but I did read probably close to 200 pages today in this book, and the day is still young. I do have plans with some of my friends here shortly, so I don't know what I'm gonna pick up next, but I will let you know, and I'll wrap the vlog up then. Tisthedamnseason wasn't it for me, and I'm gonna go pass this along to my friend Ashley tonight so that she can read it and we can all dissect at our book club Christmas meeting. That's that. Thanks for being here. Moving on to the next one. When I got home from the Light Festival in Rosemont, I had every intention of picking back up the vlog, but you'll see next what happened to prevent me from doing so.
And then you sit in the one next to you.
And then I got in the car and hit it sell.
That looks like a silver. He's surprising you. No one.